Welcome on board this ship Welcome on board this ship tender. Here follows some safety information. The tender...
So there are several festivals going on. It's a conventional or cultural event, so, but the most... So here we have some little boats. So here the yachts and the other harbour, the other side of the bay. This is the old part of the city, the soul of the town. So just in front of us, that big building, beautiful building, 19th century. This is the town hall, the city hall. So now here on the left, there is where you can walk up on the little hill behind the harbor, where was the Roman castrum. From there, beautiful view over the town. So here we pass the city hall. Do you hear me at the back? Thank you, perfect. So here on the square now that we're gonna pass, this is where. So here, a small part private, public beach, and all these are private beaches. So the famous Boulevard de la Croisette, with all the palace hotels here. There are 4 buildings around a private marina. Well, we see only the back side, but these are very beautiful apartments. Well, the idea of the architect was to represent waves or pyramids. They built this in the 70s, and when they built the 2 first buildings, people around, they said, this is ugly, you should destroy this, we don't want this. Anyway, they stayed because this was economically important. There are more than 3,000 people living in there. So it's a reference for the architecture from the 20th century. Maybe if there are people from Quebec in the bus. In Montreal, the Olympic village in Montreal is the same style, was the same architect. Private harbor, so some shops inside and restaurants. It goes from 18 till 23 levels. This is the highest one, this one here. Here on the beach, you can see the fisher boats, yeah, the blue boats. We call this the pointu. There, what you see on the water, this is a fish farm. An interesting town for architecture. So the old part of the city is at the other side of the bay. All this, that means here, this is more the most recent, from the 80s, 70s, 80s, the constructions. So this is interesting for architecture. They built it a lot around 1900, the turn of the century. That was a period that we call La Belle Époque, the luxury period. They built it for all the palace hotels, the theaters, the big villas with sumptuous gardens around. That was most of the 1900s. It's not one style, it's very eclectic, but you recognize them, they have all a lot of fantasy and a lot of decoration. So now I will show you examples from when I say 1900, is Belle Époque. Then the Belle Époque period ended 1914, that was the date of the First World War. Then they started again to build in the 30s. Then they had to stop again because of the Second World War. And then they built it a lot in the 70s and the 80s. The Regina Excelsior, it's now divided in private apartments, and on the left side ale was specially built for Queen Victoria. And the left side ale, there's on top, we'll see a crown, that was reserved for Queen Victoria, because when she came, she never came alone. She was with 70. He lived also on the flower market, but then at the end of his life, let's say, he lived here. So now here we're gonna stop soon. You can leave things in the bus. Here on the right side you can see the ruins of the ancient arenas from the Roman period in a bad state. Only for 2,000 spectators. There you see the entrance. That is